The Truth Girls. The Truth Girls.
Hi everyone. Well, a lot of people have been asking me to give my perspective on the Kony 2012 controversy, so I'll let you know what I think. Well, first of all, if you haven't seen the documentary Kony 2012 from Invisible Children, Joseph Kony is the Ugandan leader of the Lord's Resistance Army, which was using child soldiers and doing a lot of gruesome things. And, well, the campaign says they want to, save the children and bring Kony to justice. So, well, who could disagree with that? Sign the pledge to help us bring Kony to justice in 2012. It's, a very heartbreaking story, and you see these children who are running away from this horrible man who wants to torture them and turn them into soldiers and all this kind of stuff. But there's more to the story. What do they want from you with the pledge? Well, they want basically to bring the American military into Uganda to get rid of Joseph Kony. But as I'm saying, there's more to the story, and the other half of the story has also been shared on the internet. You might want to watch this by the Ugandan blogger Rosebell Kagumire. What she's saying is that this is basically a case of oversimplification. Somebody wanting to be the hero and go and save the African children, and the problem is it kind of perpetuates this myth that African people are unable to resolve conflicts within their own country without external help, such as help from the US military. And another problem is that, well, Joseph Kony is actually no longer in Uganda, and that the footage in the film is old, and this story they're telling you in the film is actually from several years ago, and that since that time things have changed a lot, and they're now in a period of sort of recovery from this, and if anything they need help with recovery. Joseph Kony is not even there anymore. So she is from Uganda, and she's saying that what they're showing you in this Invisible Children documentary is not entirely true, and, well, that's strange. Why you should feel awkward about the Kony 2012 video. They say here that the LRA is no longer thought to be actually operating in northern Uganda, which is the opposite of the impression that you get from the film. Also, there have been military attacks and a lot of attempts to get rid of the LRA, and they say that at this point it has diminished, perhaps amounting to 250 or 300 fighters at most. Also, it's not like the international community doesn't know about Joseph Kony, and he was indicted for war crimes by the International Criminal Court in 2005. As they point out here, he's still on the loose, but the film is portraying crimes in northern Uganda that are from a bygone era. So, it's very strange. I mean, this huge viral marketing campaign, everybody's like, oh, we got to go and save the Ugandan children, when really Kony is not actually that much of a threat to the Ugandan children anymore. Not to say that Kony shouldn't be brought to justice, but the picture you get from the film is pretty misleading. From Al Jazeera, Dangerous Ignorance, the Hysteria of Kony 2012. Well, they say here, the hunt for Joseph Kony is like the perfect excuse for the military to go into oil-rich Uganda, and that any time the American military goes anywhere in the name of human rights, like what they did in Afghanistan, oh, well, look at the way they treat their women, we got to go in there and save them, and as a result, millions of children all over the world have lost their lives as collateral damage. I mean, if you take into account Iraq and Afghanistan and all these other places, anytime there's a military strike, you're going to have civilian casualties. So Kony's not there anymore. They're in a state of recovery now from the conflict that they had. And so what would be the point of the American military going into Uganda? Would it really help anyone, or would it actually be at the expense of the very children that you want to be helping? Another problem that this article mentions, as well as the one from Time, is the mysterious nodding disease. That actually the government in Uganda is also very corrupt, and as they describe here, the most significant problem people face is over land, Land speculators and so-called investors, many foreign, in collaboration with the Ugandan government and military, are grabbing the land of the Acholi people, land that the Acholi were forced from a decade ago when the government herded them into internment camps. So what I hear from this, what this means to me is that the local governments in Uganda are collaborating with corporations to enrich the corporations at the expense of the people, to displace people, to take their land away and put them in internment camps so that foreign investors can make money off the resources that are on these lands. And this is where the nodding disease comes in, that these children who were living in these internment camps are coming down with a strange neurological disease that gives them seizures and deteriorates their brain, for which there is no cure, and nobody really knows what it is, but it probably came from something that they're exposed to in these camps. It says the deadly illness has broken out among thousands of children who had the bad luck to be born and grown in the camps, subsisting on relief aid. Now I wonder what it is that's making those kids sick. Is it the food? Is it, what are they giving them for relief aid? What they give people for relief aid? Toxic GMOs. That's why they burned the relief aid in Haiti. Or are they giving them some kind of vaccines or who knows what? But there are problems in Uganda. The children are having problems, but it's not so simple that, you could watch this documentary and that's going to just help you understand all their problems, and the solution, of course, is to send in the American military. Also, the Invisible Children charity has collected quite a lot of money over the years. I heard it was something like 9 million. I don't know. Only 30% of that actually went to the charity itself, because the rest is travel expenses and who knows what. I mean, it looked like a pretty well-made film. Films can be expensive, also plane tickets to Africa, I can understand that. But Dan Dix with Press for Truth in Toronto makes films for basically no money, so where did all that money go? But that's kind of a side issue. And the Hollywood people are on board. Stars sign up for Kony 2012 campaign. Rihanna, Sean, Diddy, Combs, Justin Bieber, also Oprah Winfrey. They're all on board with this, so that right there makes me suspicious. Keep in mind that the American government and the American military, well, they don't do anything unless it's in the interest of the corporation of the United States of America. So they like to say that they're doing things for children, but do you really believe that? I mean, look at who's running the American government. Like, look at, for example, the Bushes. Do you really think that they care about the poor children? When their home crowd is the haves and have-mores, these people don't give a crap. The Bush-Clinton fund, the money that you gave to Haiti, well, you didn't give it to Haiti, you gave it to the Bush-Clinton fund. And that's why the Bush-Clinton fund is, the Bushes and Clintons are, their riches are ever increasing, and the people in Haiti are still living in tent cities and suffering from cholera, which the UN troops brought in. So how much is it going to accomplish to give money to this charity or to ask the military to come in? From the track record, I would say probably not very much. So what is the solution? Well, I don't have the solution, but I can tell you that I understand something more about the problem. And if you want to understand why countries have these kinds of problems, whether it's in South America or it's in Africa, you should read some books like Confessions of an Economic Hitman, Seeds of Destruction, and The Globalization of Poverty and the New World Order. These are 3 terrific books, and if you read this, you'll understand how corporatism works on a global scale, how the sovereignty of any individual country is undermined when they are conned into becoming debt slaves of the World Bank and the IMF, and that global government, globalization, what it really does is it takes away individual country sovereignty, because they can't participate as part of that global economic community unless they do certain things. You know, they have to play by certain rules of the game. But it's not in the interest of the people in that country. It's in the interest of corporations. And of course, the governments of those countries are also corrupt, so they benefit when these schemes are implemented, but the people don't. So to me, this is all about greed, globalization, and corporatization. And those are the core problems. This is why, you know, you have like unending wars, conflicts, tribal conflict. This is all part of it. Poverty, food shortages, etc. These are all related to this kind of stuff. And so why hasn't the local government taken care of this Kony problem? Or why haven't they taken care of a lot of problems? Because they're probably also corrupt. Like I said, they serve the interests of corporations. So that's my take on it. Let me know what you think. Invisible Children Kony 2012 campaign. Would you sign a petition? Would it make you feel better? Would you give money to them? Or do you think that this is just like a big diversion and maybe even a dangerous oversimplification? Well, let me know what you think, and thanks for listening to me, and I'll see you next time.